everybody. I'm here today at the Racelogic Chassis School for the crate class, and I'm here with Steve. Well, actually, introduce yourself to everyone, if you would, please.
I am Steve Peeden. Run a crate late model capital car out of Indiana, and yeah, that's me.
So tell us, is there one takeaway, one thing that you've learned? Is it worth your money to be here? I'm just going to ask you that.
Yes, it is, and it's I like this setup, this school. I've been to a couple other schools, and I like this one just because the simple fact that it's more of a roundtable discussion. It's not just it's not like street stocks and modifieds or whatever. It's only crates, late models, and I mean, yeah, the information that it's cool to ask questions and then get all this advice from CVR and AFCO and Matt and everybody, and it helps us because some of the stuff we may already know, but the other stuff's just more refresher, or it refreshes you, but you learn so much more. Like the fifth coil tech we just learned, like we don't change a whole lot of fifth coil stuff. We will now, but so.
Well, you're way ahead of me because the fifth coil stuff was, I know what it looks like, and that's about it. Right. But I think that there's so much to learn. Tell us a little bit about your program. You run a 604 crate late model, is that correct? And tell us about your number and where you raced.
So my number's P3. I'm out of Martinsville, Indiana. We have it's 604 late model, capital car. We had a couple wins this year, and the problem is like in capital land, like we'll call Marshall, and Marshall's like, keep everything standard, don't change nothing. Well, I like experimenting and changing stuff, and I mean, it's just like Matt said earlier, I mean, 20 pounds out of a load number is huge, and that's where, like, this year we got to that point where we kind of dialed ourselves out, and it takes a minute to get caught back up. Like, even though, I mean, you can go right back to standard, but I like to change stuff. Everybody likes to change stuff. That's the only way you're going to learn or get faster. And once I went back to standard, I won the first night back out on standard. So, the late model class is just, it's crazy. All the adjustments, but yet you don't have to adjust a whole lot to be good.
Yeah, I think what I've been fascinated with is some of this, like bringing it back to basics, or what is baseline, because it can get so super complicated, and when we can simplify, or it's not even that. I think that the biggest thing probably is when somebody explains something the right way, it actually makes sense. It's something that's super complicated. All of a sudden, it just crystal for me. That's how this weekend has been for me. Have you experienced some of the same?
Yeah, and it's such a wealth of information here. I mean, even with Steve Hendren here, it's like, don't do this, do this, and he's not trying to sell stuff, but he's like, well, you're going to spend $1,000 here or $100 here. Like, why don't you just do this? It's cheaper and it's better. You know what I mean? So it's just, I highly recommend the school. Like I said, I've been to a couple schools, and I think is this the first crate late model one? It is, yeah. So I'm glad I'm a part of it, just because the information alone just for crates is like in our area is huge right now. So we're excited to take it back home and see what we can carry on to this year with.
Well, and what we're excited about is this is the first crate late model class that Racelogic has done. I partnered with Brian last year to record the first recorded class for the street stock division, and of course recording this. And I guess it's kind of giving away some secrets if you want to tell your competition to come, and you can't do this in person. Clearly this is over, but we can now do this online, and you can find it at racelogic.vip. Would you recommend that a person sit and watch these videos?
Yes, I would. I think it's better to be here because it's more hands-on. I mean, you can watch the internet all day long, but personally, I would rather be here. But I will probably watch it over again just to make sure, you know what I mean, because it's a lot of information at one time. So
especially shocks was like so over my head. I'm gonna have to like take that in baby steps. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, no, that's what we were all talking about last night, is the fact that I don't build shocks, and the information that was given was like, here's how you read the shock dynos. Here's how, and there's so many. I didn't realize there's so many different shock dynos. So it's yeah, definitely have to watch the shock part over again.
Well, I know I love the part where I find to make the biggest mistakes is when I don't even know enough information to even know what questions to ask.
Right.
And I feel like, hey, I'm never going to be a shock builder. I mean, that I shouldn't say never, because that always curses me to end up doing something. But I don't see myself doing that, but it sure would be nice to be able to have an intelligent conversation and not sound like an idiot if I'm talking to a shock guy.
No, it is, and that's the thing. Like, you can say you call your shot guy and you're like, well, I need a little rebound out of, my 2-inch, 3-inch number, or, some of that. And that's like yesterday, that helped me, like, as far as the graph, where like your right front inch numbers are, like the 2-inch, 3-inch, where that is actually on the graph and stuff like that. So that's what helped me with it.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks for taking the time with me and to share your experience. If people want to find you online, does your race team have like a Facebook page? Where can people find you if they want to ask you some questions?
You can go to, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. It's at Steve Peeden Racing. We run a lot, Brownstown, Indiana, and just last year I traveled a lot more. And this year we're just going to kind of do the same thing, chase bigger money, stuff like that.
Do me a favor and spell that for me if you would.
It's Steve, S-T-E-V-E, and then Peeden, P-E-E-D-E-N, Racing.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to pick up this class or see what other classes are offered by Racelogic, just go to racelogic.vip and we'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching.